So when we were at January 6th, everyone was standing there peacefully. We walk up to the line, everybody's standing in the line, and it's like they antagonize the crowd to get them to react. And so we were there, the police. Okay. And so they were spraying pepper spray across the fences and all this stuff, and they would take batons and stuff. So anyone who you put your hands up to block a baton or something, that's assault. Oh. And so that was my assault charge was...
but you never hit anybody.
No.
The pardoning of the January 6th insurrectionists, the violence they partook on police officers, it's like, thin blue line everything on the red side until it happens to be from insurrectionists.
January 6th fugitive Olivia Pollock was on the run for 10 months until she was busted with 2 others last month hiding in Groveland, Florida. Now fresh off her capture, she wants out of jail again. Olivia Pollock and Joseph Hutchinson were set to go to trial last spring, but both removed their ankle monitor and skipped town.
And I anticipate the government to come after them extremely hard, and ultimately, if convicted, they will be sentenced to prison.
Tell us who you are and what you just said to me when you came up.
Okay, I'm Olivia Pollock. I just got out of DC jail after Trump pardoned the January 6ers. And so we were there for 13 months. It was me, my brother, and a friend of ours who were arrested in Polk County, or Marion County, Florida, down from here. I was arrested a year and or 6 months after January 6th, put on an ankle monitor, and then after that I was going to trial and was kind of sick of just the sham trials that everyone was going through and what they were putting everyone through. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna make it, I ain't gonna play the game. So I cut my ankle monitor off and just, I don't know, I don't regret it.
What did they charge you with?
It was assault charges. I had a lot of trespassing charges, but it was the assault charges, anybody who, so when we were at January 6th, everyone was standing there peacefully, and it was just the amount of absolutely, like, we walk up to the line, everybody's standing in the line, and it's like they antagonize the crowd to get them to react. And so we were there, the police. Okay. And so they were spraying pepper spray across the fences and all this stuff, and they would take batons and stuff. So anyone who you put your hands up to block a baton or something, that's assault. Oh. And so that was my assault charge was...
but you never hit anybody.
No. But so we just got out, but I think it's awesome what you do. I've been watching you for a while. And just, just keeping people informed of...
Yeah. So you were really excited, when he won, and were you like, oh, I'm gonna be free?
Actually, honestly, like, through this whole thing, I believe God called us up to DC, and we just saw the corruption for the last couple of years, and we were just like, this is the last straw. They're taking our First Amendment now. And so I was like, we just felt led to go up there, and then after that, we're like, we were shocked the next day after it was all over of what the news turned it into immediately. Like, I knew the news has been, fake news for so long. Right. But to actually it be against you and to see, like, oh my goodness, like how they twist the story, and it's totally just, there we had it ready to go, within hours of it happening. Almost like they thought it was going to happen.
So what was your ankle monitor for? Where did they want to monitor where you were going? Or?
So I was in, I had to stay in certain counties in this area, and I wasn't allowed to leave Florida without getting permission. I was on an ankle monitor for a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Okay. And then, how long were you supposed to be with that?
Well, just until trial. Oh, okay. After trial, and then.
But then you probably would have been sent to jail.
Right. Oh yeah. Everybody. That's the thing. Like that was the whole thing. We had friends that had charges that were even more ridiculous than our charges. They had evidence that supported them. They weren't allowed to bring their evidence to trial, and then all the people that were allowed, they had their evidence suppressed, and then the federal government can show whatever they wanted, and it was stuff for other people, like, wasn't even against them, but yet they were allowed to make this rhetoric and this whole storyline of leading up to it that had nothing to do with their actual charges, but yet they weren't allowed. So it's like you couldn't even defend yourself. Right. And the ones that were in jail, like when we got arrested the next time, my brother was with me, and he was looking at 40 years. They wanted to give him 40 years he had a couple of assault charges and a couple of other felons, but it's
Was
just,
it just the same
charges
as
on
yours?
stacked on top of each other, on top of each other.
And your brother didn't touch
he
anybody
was,
either.
He was in a little bit more in the front, so there was quite a few people that were actually getting like trampled to death and stuff because of the crowd coming in. And so he went in there and he stood in front of, stood in between the police and the rest of the protesters.
Okay.
And so he had a lot more charges, and so yeah. But I mean, it's like any red-blooded American that sees that happening to women and older. There's a lot of older people there and stuff, and they're just getting like the amount of CS gas and the amount of pepper spray that they threw right in the middle of a crowd to almost like rile it up. You had nowhere to go, and there was no way to get out, and it was terrible. Like our police officers should know how to de-escalate a situation, and they did everything to escalate a situation. And so that was the evil of it. And we were up there for a cause, and I think everybody has the right, no matter what it is, what you believe, to stand up for what you and to make known what you think is right in this, we the people. But
you're free now.
Oh, praise the Lord.
So thankful. I bet you're like, oh my gosh, Trump, thank you so much.
Yeah, promises made, promises kept.
How long were you going to be in there without his pardon?
We were about to go to trial on the 27th. We got our pardon on the 20th. And I was probably looking at 4 years. My brother was probably looking somewhere close to 20 to 15. And so we literally got our lives back. And I praise the Lord that
I'm so happy. I wonder what the liberals roaming around here would think, knowing they have no idea they're passing a January 6th insurrection.
Cool. Even in the DC jail, I was in there for 12 months. I was locked up for 13. It took about a month to get up there, jumping from jail to jail. And even a lot of the inmates in jail were like, oh yeah, Trump is the only one that's ever stood up for inmates or prison reform or anything, because that's the thing. I've never been in trouble in my life, never had any jail experience, and you actually get eyes on the inside of our federal the BOP and the jails. It's ridiculous, how we run, how those systems are run. It's a money racket, and that's what I would have never known if it hadn't been for this. So I hate that it happened and my family had to go through it all, but it's been very eye-opening as far as seeing how corrupt it really is.
You're probably I do not have anywhere near as you guys and me were not the same. Not that they're bad people, but it's I did nothing. I'm here with you, so that's crazy.
But a lot of them support. They were all about when we would sit around and they watch the elections and different things with us, with me, and because I was in there by myself as far as the only January 6th person.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we hope he gets in for you. I'm like, so I would tell
so they're rallying
around me, but it's neat. Even coming down, after we traveled down from Florida, we would stop at gas stations and stuff. We were because we'd been in for so long, we were so excited, we just got out.
Hey everybody!
Man, that's awesome, that's so good, and I've had a lot of good feedback from it.
Good. Well, I'm happy for you. Welcome home, and I hope that everything's going well for you and your family. So I'm glad to see you out here.
Another one is the pardoning of the January 6th insurrectionists.
Right.
Watching a video of some of them that got off this week, and the violence they partook on police officers and Capitol security. It's thin blue line everything on the red side until it happens to be from insurrectionists. Stand with the police until. And it's just kind of horrifying and a little scary to see. So that one is wow, this is sort of unprecedented power at this point.
Do you think all 1,500 of them that were pardoned deserve to be in jail?
That's a blanket statement, and so I don't want to say yes or no. But a lot of them do deserve to be in jail and to do some sort of restorative action towards what they partook in.
Do you think it's fair to say conservatives, they wanted them pardoned, but a lot of the Black Lives Matter rioters, they wanted them in jail? Do you think there's kind of hypocritical?
I think it can be because destruction of property is just destruction of property, but the insurrectionist movement was it's like a little tentacle. It has ideas too.
Let me have a turn.
Was an attack upon democracy in a very a certain way.
Right.
And so I believe like one can say like what aboutisms
Yes.
all day, right? And so it has to be a case by case basis. So yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of people on the left say, well, you guys wanted the Black Lives Matter rioters locked up or whatever, but then these insurrectionists get out. And do you think it should be fair across the board? Like maybe they should all be in jail?
Well, depending on what occurred, I would say yes. In this,
I think the really awesome thing about America is we have due process.
yeah.
You get arrested, you get arraigned, you are put in front of a judge. You can have a lawyer to defend yourself. All of these things go up for trial. I think it's anything that starts with everyone should, or they all need to, or if they do, then all of them. Yeah, I think like we all need to think a little bit, right? We can't just hear a statement and not be like, why?
Right.
Not be like why. 5-year-olds, as you said earlier, 5-year-olds ask why. Yeah. Why? Where did we lose the curiosity?
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
so
Why is the sky blue?
There's other criminals that he also pardoned that should be in jail. So
Who?
the insurrectionists. Most
Oh, okay. So that would be another executive order that you would say.
another type of weird hypocrisy. You know, it's okay for the Americans to hurt people, but it's not okay.
They what?
For Americans, for I don't know, legal citizens to hurt police officers and storm the Capitol and do all that. That's okay, and they're okay. No problem. But people who smoke marijuana that are illegal and get caught and go to jail, nope, you're criminals. Get out of here. That's kind of not fair.
I think it's the fact that they're in the country illegally. Yeah. So are you worried about the January 6th people? Because there were 1,500 people that were pardoned. Do you think any of them deserve to be pardoned?
I think those men might have got caught into the middle of it, maybe doing this type of thing where everybody's, if they got arrested and they were just there, yeah. If they were inside the Capitol, definitely. They all, not pardoned, they all should have had some sort of prosecution, some sort of punishment. If they actually walked through and got into the Capitol building, yeah, they should get some kind of something, penalty, but if they were just caught up in there. But of course, anyone that hurt anybody, and it's all on video, it's nothing, and a lot of people pleaded guilty. Those people pleaded guilty should serve out their sentences.
Okay. There was one man who was sentenced to 33 years. 33 years, and the judge took it down to 22. Do you think someone who he wasn't even there. He wasn't even there. His name's Enrique. Do you think he deserved 22 years and to be called an insurrectionist and didn't deserve to be pardoned when he wasn't even at the Capitol?
What was he charged with? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
He was called an insurrectionist. I don't know the exact charges, but it was for 22 years. Do you think that's a little overkill?
Well, it depends on what happened.
I have to know what the circumstances are to answer that. That's very vague. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, don't know if they thought he was involved with planning anything with the insurrection.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Well, yeah,
No, he wasn't even there.
well, it's impossible to say. Don't know the details.
All right, we will come back after the advertise. Let's give a break for advertise for a minute.
All right, you can go to patreon.com/Caitlin Bennett to support my work. Even $5 a month helps me come out here, keep filming, hire security when we need it. Farmers markets are okay, but in protests, which I will be going to soon, you can help donate. All right, the advertisement's over.
No, wait. 1 minute.